arbitral award, Mr. President, for the record. I just discussed how the arbitral award and our existing laws do not determine the limits of the West Philippine Sea. May I repeat that? Ang nirule lamang po ng arbitral award via the arbitral tribunal, yung exclusive economic zone, hindi po yung West Philippine Sea. These are two different matters. In his response yesterday, Mr. President, Senator Pangilinan quoted the figure 500,000 square kilometers from Justice Carpio's book. Yet in Justice Carpio's decision in the Supreme Court in the case of Magallona versus Ermita, Mr. President, he quoted the government figure that the total area of Philippine EEZ is not 500,000 square kilometers, but only 382,669 square kilometers. If in his book, Justice Carpio included the Philippine rice in his computation, that is also questionable. Para kasing ang nangyari, parang sinama po nila yung Philippine rice. Nobody can claim the waters above Philippine rice.
Bullet points lang.
Those are high seas, Mr. President. Nobody can claim Philippine rice. This is not a territory. As the Philippines cannot claim them, neither China can. What the Philippine applied and registered for is the exclusive right to exploit the Philippine rice, Mr. President. The only way for China to grab the right is to apply and register with the United Nations. China did not oppose our application in the Philippine rice. It has not applied for that right until now, Mr. President. For her part, Senator Ontiveros, Mr. President, yesterday referred to the map of South China Sea in S-23 as Chinese map. She also said that the numbers 6.1 and 6.2 are not coordinates. She then said that maps adopted by the International Hydrographic Organization are not legal but technical only. First, Mr. President, S-23 is not a Chinese publication. It is a publication of the International Hydrographic Organization, or IHO. IHO is an intergovernmental organization of which the Philippines is a part. Second, as the note written beside the map says, the numbers 6.1 and 6.2, etc., refer to the chapter or sections where the coordinates of the bodies of waters can be found in S-23. Hence, the coordinates of South China Sea are listed in chapter 6.1. On the map, Mr. President, the coordinates are the points that are connected by red lines. Finally, S-23 is not meant to be a legal title. Tama naman po yun. They are just maps. Under international law on territorial disputes, maps have no evidentiary value. However, S-23 was used by the Philippines in the South China Sea arbitration. Moreover, we need to put West Philippine Sea on an internationally recognized map. Let me begin now, Mr. President, by showing two maps. Pwedeng pakilagay yung first map. Mr. President, these maps are about oil and gas activities in the South China Sea. On both maps, you will see squares and rectangles. They represent oil and gas blocks that have either been merely offered or already licensed and operating. Please bear in mind, Mr. President, that each square and rectangle represent foreign investments running in the millions and to billions of dollars. Moreover, basins with oil and gas are found on the coastal and central areas. Finally, China and Vietnam have exchanged gunfire, suffered casualties, blasted each other with water cannons, cut cables, rammed vehicles, and so on and so forth. China and Malaysia had a naval standoff. Hence, the territorial and maritime disputes between them are just as explosive. Map 1, Mr. President, was published by New York Times in 2013. It cited a source, the U.S. Office of Hydrographer. In Map 1, Mr. President, you will see gray squares and rectangles along the shallow coast of the South China Sea. Notice that adjacent to the Philippine coast are around 5 to 6 blocks. On the side of Malaysia, there are 12 to 15. Vietnam, 30 to 35. And China, approximately that number also, 30 to 35. Then we go to Map 2. It was published in 2024 by the U.S. Energy Information Agency. First, you will notice the blocks have moved to the deep water areas. Second, the blocks colored in pink are those of the Philippines. Ang mga blocks po ay halos 8 hanggang 12 lang, Mr. President. Malaysia in blue, around 60 to 70. Vietnam in maroon, 70 to 80. And China in yellow, around 60. Third, notice the blocks that are not just claimed, but even licensed by both Vietnam and China. These are shaded in orange. I hope, Mr. President, the good senator will agree that from these maps, we derive numerous lessons. First, despite the arbitral award, oil and gas activities on the Philippine side have stagnated. 6 to 8 lang. Second, it is obvious that the oil and gas activities of Malaysia, China, and Vietnam are robust, if not booming. Third, the licensing overlaps are being managed by experts at the enterprise and state levels. Hence, we hear about flare-ups between China and Vietnam, but they do not escalate. In fact, some of the overlapping blocks are operated by one international petroleum corporation. Fourth, even as their past relations are violent and the present relations are also tense because of the conflicting claims to Spratly Islands and Paracel, they engage in joint exploration and development, Mr. President. Fifth, Vietnam and Malaysia are cooperating and progressing with China. Nobody can accuse them of being pro-China. May I ask the Senator if we would agree that based on these maps, Vietnam, China, and Malaysia are succeeding in oil and gas exploration, but our exploration in our part of the world have stagnated. Would you agree, Your Honor?
Well, there are several other factors for the reason why the area is underdeveloped, and the areas of Malaysia, Vietnam are developed, apart from the conflict with China. In fact, just 2 weeks ago, there has been a discovery of natural gas deposits in the Malampaya area. So there are many factors. It is not just the conflict with China that is a reason as to why we are unable to develop our own area in the West Philippine Sea, Mr. President.
But it is very clear, notwithstanding those factors, these maps indicate that we are really behind in oil exploration and gas in the South China Sea.
Well, we're behind in many other aspects, Mr. President, not just oil and gas. We're behind in agriculture, we're behind in tourism, we're behind in energy generation, etc. So I wouldn't be as simplistic as to say because of the underdevelopment of the West Philippine Sea, it's because of our conflict with China, Mr. President.
Yes, Mr. President, I hope the Honorable Senator will also agree that there is something effective in the management of relations among China, Vietnam, and Malaysia, and more importantly, their methods of bringing immediate and concrete benefits to their peoples, as shown by these maps, isn't it?
Well, again, I will say yes, up to a certain extent. Perhaps they are managing their relations with China better, but I will not concede that because of our lack of managing our relations with China compared to our neighbors has led to this state of underdevelopment, Mr.
But considering, Mr. President, that we have been left behind, so behind, as a matter of fact.
As I have said, we have been left behind in agriculture. Is that the fault of China? Our relations with China? We have been left behind in infrastructure. Is that because of our sour relations with China? Of course not, Mr. President. There are many reasons why we are lagging behind. And yes, if we are able to better manage our relations with China, we may benefit from it. And definitely, I would like to see that at some point. But at this point, Mr. President, we're fighting for our sovereign waters and our territorial sea. And I think in this case, we should rally behind the Filipino claim in the arbitral ruling, Mr. President.
Our agriculture is lackluster. Our tourism is not giving us good statistics. Manufacturing is down. These are local problems, Mr. President. And we have only ourselves to blame why we are not doing good in these areas. But we're talking here of the South China Sea. We're comparing how, despite the tensions, the hostilities between countries like Vietnam and Malaysia, but they are able to manage their relationships. There must be something wrong with how people, like, with all due respect, Commodore Tariela, who managed and broadcast our dispute in the South China Sea. Perhaps because they do not have a loudmouth in their midst. Tayo meron, ang dami. Whereas what we have been doing for years is not working. Kagaya po ng pinakikita ng mga mapa na yan in the South China Sea. We have to sit down. Talk rather than imbes na magpatutsadahan po. Wala pong nangyayari. Ito po yung naging bunga kung bakit po tayo biglang nawala sa ere. I know that being bombastic, Tariela earns him likes and makes him probably feel like a rock star, Mr. President. I know national anger sells newspapers. I know mindless patriotism wins accolades. But in reality, as the map show, Mr. President, we are all losing out and are being left behind. The way forward, Mr. President, is open discussion. The starting point is respect for each other's views and the views of our opposing claimants, be it China, Vietnam, Malaysia, etc. The draft resolution, with all due respect, is not the right start, Mr. President.
Mr. President, if I may just point out, the matter of Commodore Torriela, whether we agree to his statements or not, is one issue. Another issue, Mr. President, is that the Department of National Defense and the Armed Forces of the Philippines have rallied behind Commodore Torriela and condemned the behavior and the actuations of China's embassy officials. If I may quote, the Department of National Defense and the Armed Forces of the Philippines strongly condemn such an affront to any of its members and reiterates that it shall not be cowed by any official of PROC, whether in their homeland or as guests here. And we shall continue to speak against their lies and malign actions when such are committed. That is our Department of National Defense. That is our Armed Forces of the Philippines, Mr. President. The very least that we should do as a Senate is rally behind our Department of National Defense and our men in uniform who risk their very lives to defend the West Philippine Sea, Mr. President. So the actuations of Commodore Torriela may find discomfort with some of our colleagues, and we will respect that. But our defense establishment and our armed forces have spoken. And I believe senators must rally behind and defend and support our defense establishment in view of the aggression and the of China in our sovereign waters and our exclusive economic zone as well as our continental shelf, Mr. President.
I will go to that point, Mr. President. But we can also draw lessons from the experiences in the Philippine Sea. In 2008, Malaysia and Indonesia had a naval standoff when Indonesia found oil and gas in Ambalat Field and Ambalat East, and Malaysia offered the same areas as Black, ND6, and ND7. To de-escalate, they agreed to a moratorium in 2009. Last year, their national petroleum corporations agreed on a joint exploration and development. We ourselves are experiencing in cooperation in the Philippine Sea. Let me show another map. This is the last map, Mr. President.
Mr. President, just a fine point. Yes, we too have disputes with Vietnam, with Malaysia, and even Indonesia, Mr. President. But the difference is that they do not water cannon us, and they do not ram their ships, their coast guards, their coast guard, the Chinese coast guard, to our Philippine ships, Mr. President. It's an entirely different story in that regard, Mr. President.
Let me show you this map, Mr. President. This map is from the US-funded think tank Asia Maritime Transparency Initiative, or AMTI. On the map are areas marked with X. On the upper right hand of the South China Sea, the mark refers to the exclusive economic zone and continental shelf overlap between the Philippines and Taiwan. We have a fisheries and law enforcement agreement there. On the lower left hand, Mr. President, the mark represents the dispute over extended continental shelf between Philippines, Malaysia, and Vietnam. We are in discussion with Vietnam now. On the bottom corner are disputes over Sabah and the territorial sea and contiguous zones it generates. In Sulu Sea and Celebes Sea, we have a tri-point with Malaysia and Indonesia, and the same in the Philippines with Indonesia, Palau, Japan, and Taiwan, emanating from Pratas Island. However, this map will demonstrate to us, Mr. President, the complex territorial and maritime disputes facing the Philippines. Malaysia is in the Sulu Sea and Celebes Sea, with Indonesia over continental shelf in the Celebes Sea, with Palau and Japan Ryukyu Islands in the Philippine Sea, with Taiwan in the Basi Channel, with China, Malaysia, and Vietnam in the South China Sea, and with China, Taiwan in the South China Sea over the maritime zones generated by Pratas Islands. We must be doing something right in this in the management of this dispute, Mr. President.
Yes, we are. And
Yun nga po, kaya
and-
po
and
pinipilit kong ipaliwanag na bakit dito sa mga areang ito ay nagagawa po nating i-manage ang hindi natin pagkakaunawaan. Ang sabi po nyo kanina, because they are not water cannoning us.
they are also not they are not aggressive. They're not coercive, and therefore there will be no escalation. The aggression of China is primarily the reason why tensions in the disputed areas have risen over time. We have in fact filed 245 protests against China's incursion and illegal activities in our exclusive economic zone since 2022, Mr. President. We also exercise diplomacy. We recognize, and that's precisely why we brought the matter to the tribunal. We recognize that China is a power, economic power, and an emerging military power. And what do small nations like us have? We have the rule of law, international law, and that's why we brought this matter to the International Arbitral Tribunal, Mr. President. We are not the problem here, Mr. President. It is China, the aggression of China, that is the problem here.
Mr. President, si Commodore Tariela po ba ginawan ng caricatures or effigy yung mga heads of state ng Vietnam, ng Malaysia, at iba pang karatig bansa?
Hindi kailangan, Mr. President, dahil wala naman silang pag-water cannon sa atin. Hindi naman po nila sinasagasaan ng ating mga mangingisda o inaaresto. Hindi na naman nila, yun na nga, binabangga, water cannon. Yung may aksidente pa na kung saan yung Chinese vessel ay iniwanan ang 22 mga mangingisda natin. At sino ang sumalba sa kanila? Vietnam ang sumalba sa kanila. So bakit tayo makikipagpalitan ng maanghang na salita sa mga meron tayong sabihin na nating maritime disputes na hindi naman tayo inaapi at binabalahura at binabastos, Mr. President. Mr. President, hindi lang po si Commodore Tariela, for the record, pati ang ating Senate President matapos nung binanggit yung persona ng grata nagsalita ng baluktot, Mr. President. So sana maintindihan natin, hindi lang ito usupin ni Commodore Tariela, hindi lang ito usupin ng mga senador o kaya mga kongresistang binabastos nila. Usupin ito ng Pilipinas na ipaglalaban natin ang atin at dapat magkaisa tayo, Mr. President.
Pare-pareho po tayo sa posisyon na yun, Mr. President. Ang sinasabi ko lang, kailangan bang magkapatutsadahan ng walang katapusan? Ang pag-init po ng sitwasyon ay hindi po nakakabuti sa ating dalawang bansa. Walang katapusan na patutsadahan. Paano po natin kakalmahin? O halimbawa, paano natin papatay ng sunog sa isang bagay na susunog? Yun po ba'y bubuhusan natin ng gasolina? O kailangan natin sabuyan ng malamig na tubig? Mr. President, ang sinasabi ko lamang po, bakit po kinakailangan kasing gumawa pa ng mga caricature at sasabihin na ang presidente ng China ay bully? Siguro po, Mr. President, ang maimumungkahi natin, hindi po tayo kasi magpa-profit from these experiences. Ang DFA, ang BIFAR, ang DNR, sila pong nagmamanage ng ating mga disputed seas. Pero nagkakaroon po tayo ng progreso. Hindi po sila nagano ng mga caricatures o megaphone diplomacy. They did it diplomatically, diligently, and without fanfare, Mr. President, working with their counterparts in settling our differences with our nations. Ang sabi po kasi ninyo, Mr. President, Your Honor, na wala pong anumang ginawa ang ating mga maliban sa China, ang Vietnam o kaya yung ibang bansa ay walang nagawa. Nakalimutan po ba ninyo, Mr. President, in the context of our maritime disputes, we have shot and killed 2 Vietnamese fishermen in 2017 and 1 Taiwanese fisherman in 2013. Did Vietnam and Taiwan accuse us of sowing fear and interfering in our capacity to defend our claims? Gusto ko lang pong ipasariwa sa inyo yung ganun. Talaga pong nagkakaroon ng ganun Ngunit sila, hindi naman tayo ginawan ng masama kahit na nakapatay tayo ng ilan sa kanilang mga tao. Ang pinag-uusapan po natin, anong patutunguhan natin kung patutsadahan walang katapusan?
Mr. President, if I may, the incidents mentioned by the good senator from Tarlac are isolated incidents from Vietnam and Taiwan. These are isolated incidents. This is not in the same realm as China's 24/7 acts 365 days a year, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, incursion and threatening. And Mr. President, Taiwan or Vietnam did not threaten us publicly. 2 weeks ago, the Embassy of China said the uniform, if I may quote, a word of advice to relevant individuals in the Philippines, immediately stop making provocations and stop confusing right and wrong, or they will pay the price for what they did. Embassy officials sa Pilipinas, tinatakot tayo. Tama ba yun? So again, Mr. President, yes, we have had these incidents with Vietnam. Oo, meron tayong naging insidente sa Taiwan, pero isolated incidents. In fact, yung sa Taiwan, iisa lamang ata sa loob ng 20 taon. Yung sa Vietnam ata, isa rin lang siguro sa 10 taon. Hindi, iba. Sa China, araw-araw tayong hinaharas, araw-araw tayong nandyan, nagtayo na nga ng kanilang airport, artificial island, lantaran, Mr. President. So, apples and oranges ang pinag-uusapan yung insidente natin with our neighbors like Vietnam and Taiwan compared to China. Ibang-iba po.
Isolated or otherwise, Mr. President, nakapatay tayo ng kanilang tauhan. Ilan po ba ang pinatay ng China sa atin? Meron po ba?
Well, Mr. President, may naputulan ng hinlalaki. At yung 22 sinagasaan ng Chinese vessel at iniwanang mamatay, kung hindi sinalba ng Vietnamese fishermen, namatay na yung mga yun. So,
Ilan po ba, Mr. President, ang sinalba ng China kamakailan? 17 Filipinos. 17 fishermen.
at
Ano po ang
nagpapasalamat
ginawa
tayo.
ni Commodore Tariela?
At
He was very
nagpapasalamat tayo.
condescending, Mr. President. Imbes na pasalamatan niya ng buong puso sapagkat 17 mga kababayan natin ang naisalba. Yung kanyang pagpapasalamat na ginawa is condescending, Mr. President.
Uulitin
Let
ko.
me suppose that the embassy that is challenging your position, Mr. President, is questioning your knowledge. What if the Vietnamese or Malaysian, what if China tells the Philippine embassy in Beijing not to post or publish views that contradict the international law opinions of Chinese officials? Would that be acceptable to the Philippines?
I'm sorry, Mr. President. I beg your indulgence. You are saying that if Vietnam publishes, sorry, I missed the
No,
the
what if China tells the Philippine embassy in Beijing not to post or publish views that contradict the international law opinions of Chinese officials? Would that be acceptable to the Philippines? Halimbawa lang, sinabihan yung ating embahada doon. Huwag kayong magpapublish
Yes,
ng mga
well,
views.
Well, Mr. President, that's their country. They will do what they will do. They will. In fact, there is no freedom of the press in China, Mr. President. So, if the government does that, then we will have to respect their position because we are merely guests in China, just as they are merely guests in the Philippines, Mr. President.
I would disagree, Mr. President. That will be unacceptable to me. Another question. The Philippine Embassy in Beijing assists the Philippine Coast Guard and DND in monitoring Chinese vessels in the West Philippine Sea. Have you heard China complain that this essential work of the Philippine Embassy interferes with Chinese internal affairs?
Mr. President, whether they complain or not, they're already in our exclusive economic zone. I'm sorry, but I'm trying to understand the position of the good gentleman in his defense of China and their
I
position.
am not defending China, Mr. President. I said, sinabi ko na kanina, ang ating discussion ngayon is not in defense of any other countries. We are defending Philippine interest. Ang pangyayari lang, kailangan nating linawin, ano ba talagang pinagtatanggol natin? Kung hindi po tayo nakatitiyak kung anong area ang pinagtatanggol natin, hindi po malinaw. Pati paggasta natin ng budget, kung alin ang dedepensahan natin, yun lang ang punto rito eh. At pinaliliwanag ko kanina pa sa magitan ng mga mapa, hindi po nagkakaroon ng positibong resulta sa ating bansa, yung pagbabangayan. Nakita na po natin, the South China Sea is rich in mineral deposits, in oil and gas. Nauhuli na po tayo dahil patutsadahan ng patutsadahan. Bakit